When planning a vacation to Disney World, one of the most important things you need to consider is where you want to stay. Of course, Disney World offers a wide variety of their own personal resorts, but a lot of times these can be very expensive and may not fit into your Disney World planning budget. Then what do? Where are you supposed to stay? If you're on the hunt for a very cheap place to stay at Disney World, today I want to share with you one of the cheapest places I was able to find to stay near Disney World. This is the Best Western Plus located in Kissimmee. Let's go ahead and do a review and a room tour for you guys. During my most recent visit, I decided to go on the Disney World website and check out the list of good neighbor hotels that they offer. That's when I came across this Best Western resort, and honestly, whenever I plugged in my dates and looked at the prices, I was totally shocked by what I found. We'll get to the cost, but let's go ahead and talk about some of the perks that you can find with this hotel. The two things I really appreciated besides the cheap price point was this hotel offers a free breakfast and also free parking. Anytime I visit a hotel or a resort and it offers free parking and free breakfast, it's automatically a plus in my book. As far as the breakfast goes, this is something that I took advantage of every morning that I went to the parks. I usually got up pretty early and went down. I think it opened around 7 a.m. and went until 9 a.m. And this breakfast was pretty standard as far as hotel breakfasts goes. Sometimes there was some bacon, sausage, bagels, cereal. There's a make your own pancake section, which is really cool that you can do it. Food can get pretty expensive when going to Disney World, and I always like to recommend if there is a place that you can stay that offers a breakfast, it's nice to go ahead and eat breakfast before going into the parks to save a little bit on your budget. So I really appreciated that this breakfast was included and that I could take advantage of it every day. There was also a ton of parking at this hotel, so if you are planning on renting a car or driving to Disney World, this is a really good hotel to choose. Since parking is included, that's not something you're going to have to worry about when staying at this hotel. So that's a little area that you can save in your Disney World budget. But I keep throwing out this good neighbor term. What exactly is a good neighbor hotel? Whenever it comes to going to Disney World, let's talk about it. As I mentioned before, Disney World does have their own official Disney World resorts, but the good neighbor hotels are usually hotels that are a better, cheaper value, are located near Disney World, and are recognized as a nice place to stay when visiting Disney World, but they aren't officially owned by Disney World. That's exactly what this Best Western is, and as I mentioned, I went on the Disney World website and looked at the list of good neighbor hotels, and this is one of the ones that really stood out to me that I felt comfortable staying at, not only because it was cheaper, but it also just seemed like a nicer place to stay as far as the list went. The thing I did like about the Best Western as well is they do have free transportation to and from the Disney World parks. Unfortunately, whenever I stayed at the hotel, the transportation wasn't running because there was a hurricane that had happened the week before, but I did ask details about this transportation. It is nice that it's offered, but it doesn't have a lot of time slots that you can take advantage of it. And what I was told, there's only one time a day that the transportation takes you from the hotel to the parks, and only one time a day that the transportation takes you from the parks to the hotel. When I stayed, I personally didn't have a car or I didn't drive to Disney World. Instead, what I used was Lyft. So if you're planning on visiting this hotel and you don't have a car, I would highly recommend taking advantage of Lyft or some type of rideshare service. Typically, I like to go with Lyft because from what I found when visiting Disney World, Lyft is usually the cheaper option compared to Uber. And if you don't have a Lyft account, I recommend creating one before you go down to Disney World so you can hit the ground running if you need it, and I'll add a link below where you can sign up. Now, this hotel is located very close to Disney World. It's about 2.5 miles from the entrance of Disney World, and that takes you about 10 to 15 minutes to get to the park. So what I did every morning as I woke up, I went to breakfast, I went ahead and I scheduled a Lyft for me. So that way I had a driver able to come and pick me up and take me to the parks. Now, from what I found, it's usually around $8 to $15 one way to get you from the hotel to the parks. And then depending on the time that you're planning on coming back to the hotel, the price can range as well. So already there's a ton of perks that you can take advantage of when staying at this Best Western. And also, if you are a Best Western Rewards member, the one thing that I like about staying at off-property hotels when visiting Disney World is if you do have a reward system with the hotel, you can bank points during your stay to also use during future visits, which is nice. So I really appreciate the free parking, free breakfast, points that you can rack up. It's proximity to Disney World, but we haven't even talked about the price yet. How much did this cost me to stay there? So I stayed for 3 nights at this hotel and it cost me $208.20. That made each night cost an average of $69.40. Now, to give you an idea and a comparison, the cost of my entire stay at the Best Western cost just a little bit over what it would cost for one night at Disney's All-Star Resort. This is an official Disney World resort, and this is one of the cheapest places that you can stay on Disney World property. For the length of my 3 stays at the Best Western, I would only get about one night at the All-Star Resort. There's a couple of things that went into how I got this price point when staying at the Best Western. For one, I visited during September, which is the cheapest month that you can visit Disney World. A lot of times ticket prices and hotels are going to be cheaper during that time, so I'm not sure if off-property hotels also reflect that pricing, since it's the cheapest time to visit Disney World. If it's also the cheapest time for off-property hotels, that's something you might want to look at when deciding when you want to visit Disney World. Another thing is, whenever I went to actually book the stay and I looked at the different prices, they had a non-member price and a Best Western Rewards member price. At the time, I was not a rewards member, so all I did was just sign up for a rewards account, and then I was able to get the cheaper stay. Since I was also staying for 3 nights, I was able to get a multi-night promotion. So if you're planning on visiting Disney World for a lot of days, you might be able to get this as well. The room that we stayed in was a standard 2-queen bedroom, and we're gonna go ahead and talk to past Megan. She's gonna give us a room tour, and let's see what she thought about the room. Now time for a little room tour. We are on the top floor. This is room 446. Let's go ahead inside. So in the little entry area, you can see the entrance to the bathroom. There's a little closet that has a safe. There's an iron, a couple of hangers, and a little luggage rack. The nice thing these rooms have too are these adjoining doors. So if you have multiple people in your party or you want to have multiple rooms, it looks like you can get rooms that are side by side that join by this door. Walking in, here is our room. The walls are like a nice light blue color. We have the 2-queen bedroom. So there's 2 nice spacious beds. They do give a lot of pillows, which is nice. And there's also a little table on the inside in between both of the beds. A little alarm clock. It's nice because the alarm clock has outlets, but also the USB ports in case you don't have blocks. There are 2 lights here, so it looks like there's more outlets on the top, another USB outlet in the center, but you can also change what light you want. So it looks like there's these little reading lights. There's the other bed, of course. There's a standing lamp. Also a little chair that you can sit down on. Air conditioning unit. There's also another little table that you could put food, luggage, whatever else you need on there. They do have a mini fridge in the room, which is very nice. You can open it up and it's very nice and cold in there. Here is the TV as well, the little remote. There's also a microwave, which is a huge plus. There's a microwave in the room. Other little storage drawers that you can use throughout your visit. There's a little desk and chair area with an ice bucket, a phone. There's also a little Keurig and, oh, another light. Let's see what this guy looks like. Oh, there we go. That's a nice bright light too. We also have a nice standing mirror here you can look at before you go into your park days to see how your park outfit looks. I really like the looks of the bed area. Everything looks kind of nice and updated in that sense. Just looks like the furniture where the desk and some of the little chairs and things are a little bit dated, but honestly, it doesn't bother me. I think everything looks really nice in here. We'll head into the bathroom as well. I love the countertop and the little vanity area here. Of course, they give a lot of towels and washcloths and everything that you need. Looks like here is the hair dryer if you need a hair dryer. They do give a couple of little shampoo and conditioner samples. This is a nice big mirror with a lot of lighting, so you can get ready for your park days easily with all of the lighting that you have. Tissues, soap, of course, the toilet, and it is a standing tub. Here is a look at the shower area. Another thing they were very kind to do, we are on the 4th floor, so that is the top floor here, and they gave us a bit of a pool view, which you can't see too well, but we'll have to check it out in the morning. Maybe we can see a little bit better. First thoughts or first impressions. Overall, I'm very pleased with the entire hotel, but also the room area. I think the beds are very nice. Everything's very clean. It looks like housekeeping did a great job. Typically, whenever I go to Disney World, I am only in the hotel to sleep and wake up. I'm usually in the parks the rest of the days, but if I do want to come back for a little park nap, Looks like this is gonna be a good place to do it. So as I mentioned, as far as the room goes, I was very pleased with everything. It looked like they were updating certain pieces of the rooms, but there were some places like the desk and some parts of the wall that maybe weren't as updated. All that to say though, it was a very clean room. I felt very safe during my time. The only thing I want to bring awareness to about the Best Western that they don't advertise on their website, when I looked at the website, it said that they don't have any resort fees. And if you're planning on visiting Disney World and staying off property, always make sure that you're looking to see if the hotel that you're staying at has resort fees. These are very common in hotels and resorts around the Disney World area, so always call and see if there are resort fees that will be added later on. And even though their website says there are no resort fees, there actually were whenever I got to the hotel and finished checking in. There is around a $5 per night fee that you have to pay during the length of your stay. I was so glad that it was only $5 because this isn't something I knew about going into my stay. If it was more, I was going to be very upset. The hotel is also located in a very trafficked and well-traveled area. The hotel itself is very secluded. There's trees and brush around. It wasn't loud by any means, like there was no road noise or anything, but it is nice that there's other things around you. The staff was very friendly. I felt very safe at this hotel, and they do have a lot of other amenities that you can take advantage of. They do have a pool area that you can check out if you're wanting to take a midday break or go to the pool and swim with your kids. They also have a fitness center if you're wanting to work out in the morning or after your park day. So overall, I highly recommend this place as a very cheap place to stay when visiting Disney World. I know I 100% would book a stay to stay here again since it's very cheap. It's super close to Disney World and there's a ton of amenities included that really help you to save money in your Disney World budget to spend on other things during your vacation. Now, another thing that can start to add up pretty quickly when visiting Disney World is the food you decide to eat during your stay. There's tons of ways that you can save money on food when visiting Disney World, which is why I'm going to direct you to a video here about how to save money on food when visiting Disney World. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions below. I'll link other hotel reviews we have here. Enjoy your stay at Disney World, and we'll see you in the next video. See you guys.